Coach, congratulations once again on the 2-0 start that the Maryland football team is. What has really been the key to such the good start that you guys been having? Well, Rick, I just wanted to say, we just play our brand of football. We know that we're maybe not one of the most talented teams out there, but we play our brand most effectively. And when you can go out and execute your own offense the best that you can do, then really, makes everything else look a whole lot better. Defense can play more aggressively. Special teams can play a little bit more loose and, go out and just worry more about making plays instead of worrying about what the score is. So you have your rival in West Virginia. Is one of the longest rivalries in college football next week. And this is a rivalry that's been going on despite the fact that West Virginia and Maryland have not been in the same conference for an extremely long time. What makes this rivalry game so special and maybe underappreciated around the country? So as someone that actually spent some time, in the Baltimore area, D.C. area, during my time in the military, I know quite a bit about the West Virginia-Maryland rivalry. I would say, for starters, this is a rivalry game where, unlike some rivalries in college football, it's actually not one-sided. It's actually been pretty even throughout the years. And then on top of that, you have West Virginia. They've come into the state of Maryland in the past and recruit some of our players. And then Maryland has also had a history going into West Virginia and stealing some players from their home state. So definitely a lot of pride in this rivalry, and I'm looking to add another chapter to that history. Okay, thanks, Coach. Have a good game on Saturday. Appreciate it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is John Jake Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Jeff Grossman coaching journey here on NCAA 14, featuring that college football revamp, of course. And today we got one of our rivalry games, the only rivalry game that Maryland has on its schedule this season. We're taking on the West Virginia Mountaineers. They're a solid football team, B's across the board, B offense, B defense. We're slightly better on paper, but you know how it is with these rivalry games. You simply cannot go ahead and take it for granted by any stretch of the imagination. So that being said, it's going to be really interesting to see how things shake out, and hopefully we can extend our record to 3-0 and already get more wins than what Maryland had all of last year. Remember, these guys finished 2-10 before we came up out here, and we got them 2-0 to start the season. But it should be a good one. Make sure you smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you have to be brand new as well. Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's see if we can take down our rivals in this ball game. So let's go ahead and get this non-conference rivalry game officially underway, as we will start with the football, but we fumble it, and West Virginia is going to recover. Oh my goodness. That is really not a good look for us whatsoever, man. I'm really fortunate, actually, that West Virginia somehow did not find a way to score off of that, but we got to be a lot better in our execution playing our first Power 5 opponent here outside of the conference, as we do have a 3rd and 11 that we have to deal with. Not an ideal situation, but Marcus Fleming Jr. does a really nice job of running a great route and getting us out of that tough spot, and does go ahead and move the chains here, as we do have yet another 3rd and long. So we got to get more than one big first down conversion, but Isaiah Jacobs could not deliver for us this time around. And this time, West Virginia does end up executing their offense, and they will strike first after we were forced to go ahead and punt this football away. So we will end up finding ourselves down 7-0. And frankly, we aren't necessarily looking good on our first couple of drives, especially with Tulia Tagovailoa getting a little bit shaken up on that option play. So now we got Davis Faust into play quarterback for us. Not looking too shabby. Corey Dykes able to make a 5-yard catch for us, but might be just one of those things where Tulia just had like the wind taken out of him. So he gets back into the game not too long after. as Isaiah Jacobs will go ahead and pick up the first down for us here. Is now 1st and 10, approaching West Virginia territory. Going to fake the handoff to Eric Webb. Got some space on the outside. Gets it out to Isaiah Jacobs, and it goes for a gain of 8. But it does look like our fullback, Eric Webb, took a little bit of a shot, man. So that does mean that fullback looking really light right now. We don't have a ton of fullbacks on the rosters. We try to throw deep on 3rd down, but our tight end could not come down with it. And it leads to yet another punt for us. So, still looking to get on the board, and West Virginia continues to build that lead. We're now down 14-0 here early. It's really important for us to go ahead and get some points on the board as soon as possible. Let's see if we can make it happen on this drive as we fake the fullback toss. But we get it out to Isaiah Jacobs, though. He'll end up picking up that first down for us. As 1 quarter is done in this rivalry game, and yet we still have not scored yet in this game. Hard to do so when we don't necessarily throw a perfect pass to Jason Jones, even though he will still pick up that first down. Just glad he was able to reach back and get that ball. It's now 3rd and 6. Tulia dropping back, has some time, has Marcus Fleming over the middle and overthrew him by a country mile. You literally cannot make this up, my guy. Like, he was wide butt naked open, and we couldn't deliver the pass to him. But, of course, we can deliver a pass like that, and Raheem Jarrett can drop it for us. Not a good look. So now it's yet another 3rd and long, and we're in a comfortable spot as an offense. We're down early, and being forced to throw the football as often as we are, you know, not really getting our running game going, regardless if it's through the option or otherwise. Not looking good, so hopefully we can turn things around on this drive as Tulia looking around, trying to throw it over the middle, but he gets hit as he's thrown and can't get it past the line of scrimmage. Good thing they won't call that intentional grounding, though, but a 3rd and 12 going to be a really disastrous spot for us right now. And, I mean, they did a really good job of covering that screen. Nowhere for us really to go with that football. I'm just glad that we didn't turn the ball over on our side of the field. But yeah, man, our offense is certainly out of sorts right now. Not looking very impressive whatsoever as we try to again here. Hopefully this is the drive that we can finally go ahead and put some points on the board, as we only need just 1 more yard. That's all I'm asking. 1 more yard to pick up the first down. We'll see if we can make it shake here as we're looking around, trying to go deep downfield, but it's going to be intercepted. We had our fullback right in the flat to pick up the first down, but Tulia got greedy. He wanted more, trying to make a bigger play, and this didn't happen for us, man. So that's going to end up being yet another turnover for us, and West Virginia gets another score on the board, and we're down by another score. You know, we're down 3 scores here, and I don't think we even get the ball to start the second half. That's the scary part, man. So we got to really turn things around here. We got to get something on the board on this drive. As Isaiah Jacobs, well, how about that to break a tackle? Good for the first down. It does go for a gain of 10. Is now 1st and 10, about 1:40 left here in this first half. Tulia looking downfield, looking for Marcus Fleming, and he can't roll it in. Ends up dropping that pass as well. Could have been for a nice little gain, but instead, 2nd and 10 waiting for us. We got a man downfield. Raheem Jarrett, he drops it too. Oh my goodness. I know Tulia hasn't made the best decisions in this game, but receivers have not necessarily helped either. Already 2 drops in this drive. So now 3rd and 10 instead of at least a couple of first downs. This surprisingly was caught, though. Isaiah Jacobs able to haul that in. And that will at least keep the drive going just a little bit longer. Is now 1st and 10. Looking to the right-hand side, but it's going to be deflected away at the last second by Charles Woods. And it does make it 2nd and 10. They did a really good job of covering that deep curl route. Is now 2nd and 10. Looking to attack downfield. McDougal had a chance to bring it in there, but he drops it too. he can't haul it in there. Defender really doing a good job of, playing this football even through the catch. As we try to pick up the first down, looking for Charles Dykes, but Dykes gets lit up like a Christmas tree. And again, we had to punt this football away, and they're able to go ahead, add another field goal. So more than a half has gone by. We're still down 24-0, and basically in a situation where we really got to pass this football a lot more than really what I'm comfortable with in this offense particularly. Is now, down by 3 scores. Really not it, but McDougal makes a huge play for us, and it's a foot race down the sideline. Does end up getting caught, though, but Dejuan McDougal with a 60-yard catch downfield, baby. Let's go, man. And it's going to go ahead and give us at least a chance to go add some points, but we can't punch it in the end zone, though. We at least get a field goal on the board. So at least the shutout is no longer on the table. But if we want to come back and win this game straight up and down, we have to get touchdowns on the board. Field goals simply aren't going to cut it at this point. We'll see if maybe that last drive was an indicator that we can turn things around as we go to Raheem Jarrett. He does pick up the first down for us, our 4th third down of this game that we did end up converting. But you already know we're running that 2-minute offense, trying to get something going as McDougal Jones couldn't haul that in. And it's yet another incompletion. Is now 2nd and 10 coming up. Tulia dropping back, facing some pressure, looking around, got a man downfield, but it's intercepted again. Thought we were going to have our tight end available. That's not the case. Tulia might have given up a pick 6. So not only do we throw yet another turnover, but we also give up points the other way. And that officially means the West Virginia defense has more points than our entire offense in this game. Definitely an embarrassing moment for our program, as this is a rivalry game. We can't be playing like this in a rivalry game. This is embarrassment to our university. And it just hasn't gone our way at all today. But we're at least starting to get some bigger plays downfield. Probably could be too little too late, But at least we're finally starting to at least get a few plays going our way, Because something for our offense to feel good about going forward, because this certainly is not it whatsoever. But yet, here we are still looking for our first touchdown of this game. We'll see if we can finally make it happen on this drive, but instead, we find ourselves getting intercepted once again. And this just feels like one of those games where everything's going right for the other team, and nothing is going right for us whatsoever. I mean, I thought we had Raheem Jarrett open, able to get that hole in, but apparently I was misinformed. So West Virginia, of course, they get another touchdown off of that as Marcus Fleming somehow comes down with that ball. I mean, we're kind of in desperation mode right now, as now we got ourselves another first down off of that. But we got to move the ball better in between the 20s, and we had guys open there, but Tulia just making some routine mistakes in terms of, going out about and throwing off his back foot. That's not going to really get the job done for us whatsoever. And how is that not a horse collar, man? Oh my goodness, that's crazy. We're at a point now, I think, no, I guess we still have our starters in the game. I'm surprised West Virginia hasn't pulled theirs, considering they're still doing this to us. Up by 35. We at least don't allow them to get into the end zone this time, but 5 turnovers and 3 points to show for it. What a putrid day for our offense, man. And now they didn't get the ball into the end zone or even get a field goal off of it, but we're inside our own 5-yard line. That is not a place for us to be whatsoever. Hopefully we can get out of that bad spot quickly, and we got to go quick because 3 minutes left, down by 35. I know we are definitely out of this game at this point, but we can at least try our best to at least make this game look a little bit more competitive on paper. Is now 1st and 10 again. Tulia Gonna go ahead, run the option here. You know, probably aren't expecting it all that much, and actually finds a little bit of a crease and picks up a little 5-yard gain because of it. We just got to keep going into our no-huddle offense. Not something that I usually like to do, but something that we have to do at this point, right? So here we go, baby. 3rd and 3, looking downfield. We got a guy open, Tulia. He's got the arm and finds Rakeem Jarrett down the sideline, and finally we get ourselves into the end zone. Touchdown, Maryland. And while it may be too little too late, how about this throw by Tulia Tagovailoa? Able to go ahead, drop it right in the breadbasket. Although it does lead us to lose, we lose this game 38-10. We at least have something a little bit better to feel about ourselves. You know, just got to learn from the mistakes so that it doesn't happen again. And hopefully we can move forward and trying to go about being a little bit better in the future, because games like this will be why we don't go to a bowl game if we don't have any postseason action when we are done here in this regular season. But for now, the only thing that we can really do is go ahead and check out the stats for our guys in this ball game. Alright, boys, so last episode we saw the promise of this team, what they potentially had for us, and this time we saw what work still needs to be done. Oh, this game was super ugly. I'm not going to even lie to you guys. We didn't even have 100 rushing yards as an option team. Like, it did not work out for us whatsoever. 289 yards passing. Did have 1 touchdown at the end, but we had 5 turnovers in this game, you guys. Like, we cannot keep doing that. Like, we barely won the time possession, and when we did have the ball, it felt like we were hardly doing anything at times. It was a really rough one to watch, and I don't think there was anyone on this offense that had a really good game, per se. Tulia Tagovailoa, 284 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions, did not take care of the football. Some of it was just trying to, you know, make something happen, trying to make a play, but you can't get it all back at one time, right? So there's that. And then Isaiah Jacobs, 70 yards off of 18 carries. That's okay. Rakeem Jarrett, though, 6 catches, 115 yards, and a tub. A bright spot in what was a really tough day for our offense. Nobody else really did much except Juwan McDougall. 2 catches, 89 yards to go with it, but we had a lot of drops out there today. Like, Tulia was not making smart decisions, but we didn't get a lot of help either from our receiving core. So, only thing that was left to be done, we just gotta learn from this and just gotta shake it off from behind us, you know. So, since this episode only is going to have 1 game in it, I figured it'd be a good time to show you guys what my recruiting board is looking like now, since I am the offensive coordinator and we are at a school that's not as intrusive as the Air Force Academy. I am letting the CPU run recruiting for this season, and here's a few guys that we're going after. You know, going after a Ronald Jackson. He's a pretty good looking ball player. Brandon Jackson looks great too. 4-star guy. He's really interested in us right now. We're in the thick of things for Courtney Clayton. Not sure if we'll get Doug Frazier or Bobby Whitney, but these are kind of guys that we're trying to go after, hoping I can get some big upsets over the course of this season. It'll be a lot easier to bring some of these guys in, but it's going to be a pretty tough situation to try to go ahead and bring some of these players in. Actually, I am going to offer a scholarship to Doug Frazier. We only have like 50 points left. Solid player, 78 overall guy. Ton of people that are going after him right now. Ton of scholarship offers. Not surprised though, he is like a 78 overall, so he is a really good football player. Number 1 middle linebacker too in the country. So one thing that I did want to talk to you guys about is, for some reason when I was creating the prospects, the game did not save all of them. I don't know if I just created them in like a different session or what was going on, but not as many prospects. Now don't freak out, guys. I will have some more prospects in year number 3. You know, do a better job making sure that they're actually in. But yeah, sorry about that, you guys. But that being said, few prospects that are in this year 2 recruiting class. First, we got Donnie Watson from Havelock, North Carolina. He's got a ton of love right now, man. Looks like Tennessee, North Carolina, and Clemson are all going after him right now. Looks like he's leaning towards Tennessee to play in that vaunted SEC conference. He is definitely a really good looking ball player at the end of the day. But man, you know, and he's the number 2 overall rated prospect in the country right now. So he's a very good football player. But he's not the only football player in this recruiting class, right? We got a couple more that the game actually did register. Again, it's kind of disappointing. But we also have 3-star running back Bear Footlock. He is a power back from Plattsburgh, New York. He right now does not have any scholarship offers at the moment. Looks like he has interest from schools like NC State, Michigan State, Colorado. We're going to get out of the state of New York for sure. So that'll be really interesting to see how that turns out. We'll have to keep an eye on his recruiting process as the season goes on. And then we also have 4-star wide receiver Eli Thompson. Now, Eli Thompson is from Hazard, Kentucky, and he's someone that isn't the fastest guy. He's only registered a 4.72 40-meter dash, but he does make that up, you know, has some good ball skills, does have a scholarship offer from Nebraska as of right now. You know, again, not a fast guy, but he does a pretty good job of catching the football. Route running is pretty crisp. Right now, Nebraska, who we are in the Big Ten with, it looks like is going to most likely get this guy to sign on the dotted line, and that's kind of surprising, seeing as Kentucky, who is a home state team, is not even pursuing him. That's wild to me, considering he is a 4-star prospect, so he's pretty good. But next episode, we will get quite a blessing, and that blessing is taking on somebody from the Big Ten West. We'll start off with an Illinois team that's still looking to win their very first game of the season, and then we'll follow that up with a game against Florida State, who's also trying to rebuild as well. Should be a good one nonetheless. So if you guys enjoyed the content, I need you guys to do me a favor. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you have to be brand new. This is John J. Gaming on the mic signing off. I'm hoping you're all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.